Alright guys, so now we're basically going to talk about each of the accessories on the gun, a little brief overview, and then I'm going to do some shooting to show you why they're on the gun here, why I chose them over other sights and optics and stocks, and why this is a great gun to have if you have the budget to have a KISS rifle. Starting off with the Voltor mod stock here. This is a great stock. It's a little bit different than your standard Magpul or car stocks that you put on your guns because it does have a slanted cheek piece here, and it gives you a very good cheek weld on the gun to get your eyes on the sights. We're running a PRI gas buster charging handle here. It's got the extended latch here, which works great. I'm running gloves today to show you that you can operate this charging handle very easily just by pulling it back with the gloves on. It's back and forth very easily. We're wearing gloves today. We have the Centurion Arms diopter sights. These are basically H&K 416 sights. They mimic the old MP5 style ghost ring with this rear sight that has the 4 apertures on the back of it here. We're running it on number 1, which is basically a slot cut into the back of this rear sight here so that we can get a good clear view of the Trijicon RMR. And when you're running something like a Trijicon RMR, you want a complete clear field of view because you do have very little glass to look through. That can help and hinder the shooter. It can help you by allowing you just to focus strictly on that dot, and you're not worried about all the surrounding metal or plastic that goes with your sight. Or it can hinder you because it is such a small window to look through. It can take some time to get used to drawing down on target with this optic. Standard Magpul XTM rail covers, Tango down foregrip. This gun has been painted using Krylon camo paint and a standard laundry bag. And if you click on the painting video of mine, you'll see how I do that. We have a Surefire 951 flashlight out in front here, and the LaRue Tactical hand stop. I started putting these on a lot of my firearms lately. I wasn't sure if I was going to like them. Got them on there. You're really able to push out and run the gun a lot faster when you have something to drive your hand against. Again, on this rifle, just like on almost all my ARs, I have the Surefire MB556. Once you shoot one of these things, you will never go to any other muzzle brake. They're great. They really keep the muzzle jump down on a gun. We got the Magpul bad lever. That's pretty standard on all my rifles as well. Basically, this is my KISS rifle. I'm going to run just 5 rounds as fast as possible into this 15-yard target here using the Trijicon RMR. So when you're looking through this sight, basically you have your dot, 7 MOA. It's the smallest dot you can get for this style Trijicon. If you go with the ones that are battery operated, you can get down to I think a 3. So this is the smallest one. It takes up quite a bit of the target even at 15 yards. You have a big chunk of that center mass taken up. So we're going to go down, we're going to check the target. Again, it's extremely bright out here today. I mean, there's not a cloud in the sky. I have no problem seeing this sight on a bright day. The only downside to these sights that I've seen so far, when you are running this gun in a dark environment and you start to run your flashlight, it does not have the output of light it needs to really be bright enough to see. So it starts to blend in with your flashlight here. Now what I've done on this gun is I put a blue filter on the end of it, and basically what that does is if I'm running my flashlight and I get that blue light out there, it contrasts with the yellow dot on this sight, and it makes it extremely easy to see. So that is a downside to it because blue obviously is not as bright as just running your LED or your standard flashlight. But again, for daytime shooting, speed shooting, they're very good. So let's go down, we'll check the target and see how I did. Alright guys, we're at 15-yard line here. We got a 5-shot group. They're all, within 6-7 inches of each other. Basically, this sight is utilized for quick encounters, quick target acquisition. If you can get out to 30 yards and start engaging targets 2 shots at the chest, you'll see your groups will still be pretty tight. The only downside of this sight is it does have a 7 MOA dot. And for me, when you're used to shooting, like a Trijicon ACOG or your aim points that run, your 2 MOA, your 4 MOAs, and then you get to something that's got a 7 in it, this is substantially bigger. So that just takes some getting used to. You got to know your holdovers again. As you can see, you have 1.5 to 2 inches height over bore on this sight as well, which is pretty standard for most optics nowadays. You put them on your your high-rise mounts, your cantilever mounts, you're going to be dealing with that 2.5 inches height over bore. It's not a good group by any means, but this was about shooting speed, shooting as fast as I could, 5 rounds on target, all very effective hits. Now we're going to go back. We're going to show you shooting multiple targets on this range at various distances and double taps. And I'm going to show you basically all the accessories that are on this firearm. They serve a purpose, you know, from the Voltor stock down to the LaRue handbrake here. And we're going to talk about the sights and how they co-witness with the Trijicon. And we're going to show you some speed reloads because this is a KISS rifle. This is your standard KISS rifle. There's really not much on it. You have one flashlight, your foregrip, your sights, and you know, your fixed front and rear sights on here. And we're going to show you how these work very well with this optic. So let's go back to the line. We'll do some shooting on some multiple targets, and we'll walk you guys through the benefits of having a simple KISS rifle. I'm going to show you shooting crossbody now on 3 targets at various ranges with a speed reload in the middle. So I'm going to show you that even having a KISS rifle, you can get your speed reloads out there very fast, and you don't have to worry about the weight taxing your arm. So basically what you get with this gun is a close to medium range optic for shooting targets in a tactical situation. You can see that the speed reloads are quick. This gun has very little weight to it. I think it comes in at around 10.5 pounds. Some of my other ARs run in the 13-14 pound range. But again, KISS rifles are perfect for the everyday shooter that just wants a light rifle. It's got a lot of accessories on it for what you need. Now we're going to be looking specifically at the muzzle brake here. This is a Surefire MB556. I bought them based on some reviews that I had read. I took them out to the range, ran a camera on the front of my gun, and there was little to no muzzle jump comparable to, say, your standard birdcage or even the Novetzke pig that I run on a couple of my other ARs. So basically I'm going to focus primarily on this muzzle brake right now, and I'm going to fire 5 rounds downrange. And I'm going to show you guys the minimal jump that this thing really does have. So as you can see, very little muzzle jump, and that's from the standing position. You know, when you get down into the prone with this thing, it's next to nothing. You can shoot multiple rounds. You can burn a 30-round magazine, and there is little to no muzzle rise on this gun, making it very easy to keep your sights on. And what that's caused by is you have side-ported barrels at the 3 and 9 o'clock on this thing, and that puts the blast out to the sides. And then you have 2 ports on the top here, and basically this one's a little offset, and it sends a blast towards the up and left. They have cut this thing perfectly for the shooter to allow the blast to sort of keep the muzzle rise down. I've never had another flash suppressor or muzzle brake work as well as this one does. You know, and this is a lightweight rifle. So for $150 to make your gun shoot that much better, I would say it's probably one of the best investments I've ever made on a firearm. So we've gone over the Rock River Arms AR-15, my KISS rifle here. We've talked a lot about the Trijicon RMR, the benefits of it being that it is very lightweight. You get a good sight picture even when it's bright out. The only downside is when it is dark, it's very hard to see this. And like I said before, on my Surefire flashlight here, I've put a blue filter on the end of it. Basically, that helps me see this yellow dot from this sight. You know, the Surefire muzzle brake, great accessory to have on your guns. It's 150 bucks. It'll make you a much better shooter because it does allow for fast target acquisition. Centurion Arms diopter sights, fixed front and rear sight. You know, if you want the flip downs and that's your preference, that's fine. But again, these do work very well. You have 4 apertures on here, and on the number 1 setting basically is a slit so that you can mount optics to it and get a good sight picture, and it doesn't blur your dot out there. You know, for the price of them, they're very good, and they'll run you about the same as your standard Troy or Midwest Industries flip up front sights. You know, we got the PRI extended latch here. I ran today with gloves on, and you could see that it was very easy to manipulate this charging handle. Magpul bad lever, always a good accessory to have, $30 from any of your major gun website manufacturers. I dedicate a lot of the lightweightness of this gun to the Troy rail. These are very good rail systems. They're very durable, very lightweight, and the color, the tan that you get with the Troy rail matches a lot of stuff very well. They did a very good job matching this tan or brown with other browns and tans. The LaRue handbrake, this has become an accessory that I have started to put on all of my guns. Any AR that I have, or even my AK-47, I run these because it gives you something to push out against. You know, and you got your Surefire 951. It's a Surefire. It's gonna run good. Again, KISS rifle, very durable, very lightweight. As you can see, as I was out here doing, you know, multiple target acquisitions, I had no problem holding this gun up. You know, great rifle for the price. So again, Phil from Run and Gun, thanks for watching.